Hello, guys. Today we're gonna start a podcast with the Canadian Miss Joanne. So I am Isabella, and I am happy to start this podcast.
I am Pietra and I am so happy to start a new podcast.
I am Izadora and I'm happy to start this podcast.
So we're gonna start to do questions for you, okay?
That's great.
What do you think that can change of the Canadian school or the Brazilian school?
I think that Canadian schools and Maple Bear schools are very similar. There are not very much differences between them. It's the same philosophy, the same method, the same way, the same subjects that we're learning. Some of the schools in Canada do not have uniforms like you have here in Maple Bear, but some do. So it really depends on the school that we're talking about. Yeah, it depends.
Yes. And what do you think about Maple Bear Catanduva?
I think Maple Bear Catanduva is a great school. It's beautiful, first of all. You have a very, very nice building. You're lucky. And it's expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger. Also, you have very good teachers. I was able to go into the classes and listen and see what was going on. And I really am happy with the involvement of the teachers. The teachers are always there for the students. They're very polite with the students. The students are very polite with their teachers. And that, for me, is wonderful.
Do you have any school in Canada?
Do I have any school in Canada? Do I work in a school in Canada? I don't work in a school in Canada right now. At the moment, I am only working for Maple Bear, so I come to Brazil sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a year. It depends. And I'm lucky enough to sometimes take some holidays in Brazil. So I love Rio, so I end up going to Rio, and I was lucky to bring my 2 children, who are now adults, to Rio. And for us, this has been the chance of a lifetime. It's been wonderful.
Is the first time that you have been to Catanduva or no?
It is the first time, and we never know what we're expecting because I don't know the city very well. So when I was told that I was coming here, I read a little bit about it, but still, you never know what to expect when you come to Brazil. I'm very lucky to be in this school and very lucky to have the owners and the teachers take so good care of me.
Is a question now that is a little bit funny for you. Do you eat fast food? Do you eat fast food?
I do not eat fast food. No, I don't. You see, in Canada, the food is very expensive, okay, because we only cultivate food in the summer. So we need to import a lot of the food. Canadians don't go to the restaurant as much as Brazilians, and we don't do iFood or stuff like that. We do it, but sometimes, like let's say on a Saturday night or something like that. So in my family, we don't eat very much fast food, also because my 2 children are athletes and they need to eat good food, protein, vegetable, fruit, so that they can perform. They are hockey players and they need a lot of energy.
Do you eat the Brazilian food here?
Absolutely. I love Brazilian food.
You like it?
I love everything.
Do you have a favorite book? If so, what is?
Do I have a favorite book? I would say that most of the books that I see in Maple Bear in the classes are my favorite ones. And right now, because you're studying the yellow dog, I have started really getting some information on yellow dog because not too long ago, I was in the Northwest Territories where the story happens, and I'm very interested by this. A friend of mine has sent me pictures of Northwest Territories for when we were there, so hopefully one day I will go and show you the pictures.
Mr. Ad to read for her, for us.
Their favorite book ever.
I don't like it so much. I can.
No. It's very hard for you to identify
Yeah.
to it because you have never been up north. It's a very different way of life than what I live in the south. Okay, so this book that you're reading is really happening in the northern part of Canada, where there's not a lot of population, where again we are. Cars are replaced by skidoos and things like that. So it's a very different way of life. The food is different, everything. And you must remember also, when you're reading that book, that people who live up in the north do not have access to food like we do in the south. So they eat things that they hunt. But also, for example, if they were to want some chips or some cake or things like that, it needs to be brought up from the south. So the plane that brings the food up to the north is very expensive. So we need to put the things that we buy are also very expensive in the north because we need to pay for the gas of the airplane to get up there. So the food is extremely different.
And this book have biggest chapters and
Yes.
a long story.
You will always remember that book.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is that?
Thank you, girls. Thank you. This was very interesting. You did a great job.
Thank you.
you.